Hey guys, I'm Matt. Welcome to the farm. I cannot believe we're at the end of 2025 already. Last week of December. Who'd have thought this is where we'd be so fast? This year just flew right on by. But is what it is. Can't change it. Just gotta move on. Today's video, I think we're gonna talk about how we made out for 2025. The farm as a whole, the health of the farm. And then we're gonna talk about each enterprise and how it contributed to the bottom line of the farm. Two of the biggest things that changed for us this past year were farmers markets and beef. We added a farmers market to our weekly schedule. Not only were we doing our normal Saturday morning market over here in Lyons around Central Park, but we also added a Wednesday late afternoon, early evening farmers market over here in the town of Palmyra, the town we live in. They were looking to start up a new market and they were looking for a meat vendor. So we reached out to them and they graciously accepted our invitation. So we started selling our products there as well. With Farmers Market went our expansion of selling beef at Farmers Market. And that went way better than Stacy and I would have ever imagined. We took 2 beef to both farmers markets to start the season, and 11 markets is what it took us to completely offload 2 whole cows. That was completely mind-blowing. Then we ended up selling 1 whole cow, I believe 2 quarters and a half, if I remember right. And then that took us through the summer, and we ended up with 2 cows here in the fall. One of them went to farmers market, sold that USDA. The other one we weren't able to get into the USDA butcher, so we sold that one as 2 quarters and a half as well to existing customers that we had. The cow that went to farmers market, we sold that whole cow in 4 markets. That was really impressive. Needless to say, selling beef at farmers market is where it's at for us. That's what we're going to do moving forward. So why is that? Well, we do make more money selling by the cut versus selling quarter halves and wholes. There's a trade-off there. Quarter halves and wholes is one transaction, you're done. Pending the butcher gets the order cut right the way the customer wanted it. That's one thing we like about selling by the USDA cut. We take the beef to the butcher, we fill out the cut sheets the way we want it. When the customer purchases the cuts from us, they see and they know what they're getting. They're not getting anything extra. They're not getting a cut that they asked for. It's cut and dry. That was one of the biggest things that we enjoyed about selling by the cut at farmers market. The other thing that was a benefit to us by selling by the cut at farmers market was it increased our chicken and egg sales. Customers would come and buy, a couple pounds of ground beef, and then the next week they'd come back and buy the same couple pounds of ground beef, a steak or 2, and then they'd buy some chicken. And that went on all summer long. So we gained a lot of new customers for the chicken side of things because of the beef. When it comes to the pigs, it wasn't such a profitable year for us. We had 8 pigs in total. We were hoping to sell 5 pigs by the half or whole, which we did, no problem whatsoever. Where we ran into a problem was the butcher we were using was supposed to be getting USDA certified, so we would be able to take 3 pigs to farmers market to sell to finish out market season. Well, that butcher ended up not getting USDA certified, so that kind of put us in a little bit of a predicament within the last week or so before the butcher date. I was able to find a customer for one of those pigs, so that left us with 2 whole pigs that we didn't sell. Wasn't a big deal. We put them in our freezer. We're consuming them ourselves. Gave some to mom and dad as Christmas presents, things like that. But it's just for us to enjoy. The problem with pork is it's profitable up until they go to the butcher. You have your normal butcher fees, your dispatch fee, and then anything you want to have smoked and cured, sausages, bacon, that's all an added charge. And when you're charging so much a pound, you can't charge $7, $8 a pound across the board for everything. Customers won't buy it. So we ended up, charging what we had been charging in the past. And in the end, we ended up losing a little bit of money because we didn't sell that pork, those last 2 pigs. We didn't sell those. We ended up putting them in our freezer. As far as chicken goes, that went really well this year. With the addition of the second farmer's market, we added on another 50 birds that we processed. So this year we did 350. Last year, 2024, we did 300 birds. The biggest thing that we changed up for this year was right here at the end of market season and what we were carrying overage wise of chicken into the wintertime months. Last year we had a lot of whole birds and they sold, but we ended up with a bunch left over. This year I didn't want that, so I butchered accordingly towards the end of the season. And I feel like we're in a better position this year as far as our winter stock. We have a few whole birds left. We have no boneless, skinless chicken breasts, no bone-in breasts. The wings are all gone. We have packages of drumsticks. We have thighs. We have leg quarters. So, that's stuff that we still have available for customers. And we keep eating some of it ourselves as well. So we just are starting to slowly dwindle down on our inventory when it comes to chicken. Our beef sales help drive our chicken sales to the point where when we were at farmer's market before, we were selling, a couple $100 worth of product a week. There was times with the beef we were doubling that, and even a couple of weeks we tripled that. So it was a really good choice for us to start selling all of our products at farmer's market. It just, to me, it gives a wide array of choices for the customers to want to come to your booth and check you out and keep coming back for more week to week. Eggs, things went great. I can't say anything more about that. We have no eggs in the refrigerator for stock. Even though farmer's market has ended, we have a bunch of customers in the Lyons area that we take eggs to on a bi-weekly basis. It's a way for us to move our product so it doesn't sit in the refrigerator, but also supply those customers that have been buying from us religiously all season long. So it works out well. We go to town. We got 4 or 5 customers that we deliver to within probably a mile square radius. 10 minutes we're done, and we make decent money off of that. So for us, it's a way to continually sell our product. We added on the egg layers for next year. They haven't started laying yet, but when they do, they'll contribute to the bottom line and supplying more and more customers. So with that being said, it was a really, really good, successful year for the farm for the most part. The one venture that didn't pan out so well for us was pumpkins, getting back into doing pumpkins this year. We had high hopes for that, but in the end, we planted the seeds. A week later, we had 3 inches of rain in 45 minutes, drowned out a bunch of seeds. They either rotted or washed away. So in the end, I wouldn't even say a quarter of what we planted came up. But what we did harvest was a good crop. There was plenty of what was there. So we set up our stand, and at the end of the day, we just about broke even for what we spent seed wise. Our time, I don't put a labor dollar value on our labor for time here on the farm. I see there's a lot of people that do, and I may not have the right outlook on it, but the way I look at it is every day I'm doing something farm related. A little bit here, a little bit there, a lot there. It doesn't matter. To try to put a dollar value on my time every day for the farm just doesn't make sense. So when I look at, are we profitable as a farm, I'm looking at the hard dollars that's invested into the farm or we get back from our customers from buying our products. Hay for 2025, that started out pretty rough. It was a wet, cool spring, early summer, all the way through June. Then Mother Nature flipped her switch and it went really warm and dry. We were finally able to get hay made first part of July. Very over mature, quality, borderline, very poor. But it is what it is. I know I'm not the only one in that boat. Pretty much anybody in our area trying to make dry hay is in the same boat. The quality is down, but the quantity is way up. There was a lot of hay to be made. Mother Nature flipped her switch and stayed dry all summer long. So then second cutting was pretty well non-existent. And then right around the first part of September, it started to rain. We got some warmer days. Second cutting kind of got rejuvenated. So we were able to get some second cutting made about the middle of September, which is very unheard of around here. Usually by the first part of September, we're pretty well done with any kind of dry hay making around here. But we got hay made. The quality was pretty good. We had one field that was a little on the weedy side, but otherwise, quality was really good. Yield, on the other hand, was down, but I was able to get enough made for the customer that I have that buys all my second cutting hay. She was very happy that we even had hay to be sold. So happy customer means profitable day for the farm. I guess the last thing to talk about really doesn't have anything to do with the dollars and cents or the bottom line of the farm, but it has everything to do with the farm. And that's Cobb Hill Farms YouTube channel. Back when I started this channel 2 years ago, I had no direction, no vision, no anything for this channel. I just would put together videos, upload them, and see how things went. I could not imagine to be where we're at right now. Now, granted, we're not some great big huge channel that has over 100,000 or 200,000 subscribers. That doesn't matter to me. The subscribers doesn't matter. It's the interaction that I have with the people that genuinely enjoy what we're doing and support what we're doing. That's what I enjoy more than anything. Hearing from you, the ones that are watching this video. Sure, I want to grow the channel as much as we possibly can. You can help that by liking the videos, leaving comments, sharing the video with people you might know that enjoy this kind of content. If this is the first time that you're checking out our channel and you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Doesn't cost anything. I'm telling you, you won't regret it. You'll come back for more. If this is the kind of content you enjoy, then you'll be back. With that being said, there's nothing really left to say about 2025. It was a great year. I can't wait to see what 2026 does. I hope it's as good a year for you as I'm hoping it's going to be for us. And I'm going to put together a highlight reel of the best of 2025, or at least what I feel was the best of 2025 of the farm. And I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you'll come back for more. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. You don't want to fill these completely full because you got to have room for the antifreeze to expand as it warms up, but you do want it covering the top of the fins. So we look like we're, I don't know, 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch above the fins. Good place to start. The way we raise pigs outside here is pretty simple. It's a pretty simple design. We have just a standard 2-wire high tensile fence all the way around. At each corner we have steel T-posts driven in the ground, and then the line posts are all just those plastic plastic posts that you get from Tractor Supply. Over here is Stacy's prize. This is her 1950 Farmin H. This tractor has quite the history, I guess. She bought it before her and I even met. She bought it, had a double seat on it, had a wide front end, and she used to use it for tractor rides. The couple she bought it from used to use it for tractor rides. That's why they had a double seat on it, so the husband and wife could ride together and cruise along. Well, they had a faded out peeling paint job. The motor was completely tired, smoked to high heaven. Just wasn't a real reliable tractor. So last year when we got married, I thought what would be a good meaningful wedding present. Well, I restored her Farmin H for her. Hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you like our channel, as always, we ask you to subscribe. I hope you have a great rest of your day. We'll see you next time.